Even though the Hungarian Grand Prix started under wet conditions, the track began to dry up quickly, and Haas decided to pit immediately after the formation lap, which at the time seemed like a really great decision. However, they would be slapped with a 10-second penalty after the race for giving instructions during the formation lap. Team principal Gunther Steiner has criticised this and added that if the opportunity arose, he would do it all over again. I'm your host Dillon Shelley, and first up on Formula World, Steiner, undeterred by penalty, would do it again. Steiner began by explaining why he does not agree with the penalty. For sure, we would do the same thing again. The 10-second penalty was a little bit ambiguous. Unfortunately, we cannot appeal it because it's a time penalty. You're not allowed to appeal those ones. It looks like if it's never been done before, and there's no clear regulation, we need to move on from this, but for sure it spiced up the race for everybody. I don't think we should stop doing these things in racing, otherwise accountants can race in Formula 1. He also revealed that Haas won't be updating their cars in 2020. We're running out of speed in qualifying, and that's something we have to live with, since we don't have any major upgrades there, and there won't be an engine upgrade. We just have to fight and always try to do a good job. We're not the fastest midfield car this year, we have to live with that, we are short. He concluded by further elaborating on this. We therefore have no improvements planned for this year, so we have to focus on making the most of what we have this season and look to next year to try to do something better that year. It's not going to be an easy year. Fast feed! Alfa Romeo's Kimi Räikkönen has stated that the first few races haven't been ideal in terms of results, but the important thing is that they are moving in the right direction. His team boss, Frederick Vasseur, feels that their race pace is pretty good, but they are disastrous in qualifying. Former F1 driver Ralf Schumacher is convinced that Mercedes only showed 80% of its maximum potential. McLaren's Lando Norris feels that the first two races of the season were extremely good, overachieving in some ways and beating a lot of cars that were quicker than them. Silverstone director Stuart Pringle has admitted that they were never serious about racing in the opposite direction, as Silverstone is about the Grand Prix circuit, you can't go the other way around. Williams' George Russell thinks that he'll have to compete with the Alfa Romeos and the Haas cars to get a place in Q2 at Silverstone. He also thinks that it's a pity there are no fans, as that was the highlight of last season for him. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko has revealed that the DAS system is off the table for the time being, as they first have to solve their chassis problems. Masashi Yamamoto, Honda Motorsports general manager, said that it's now important for Red Bull and Honda to share their thoughts about the fact they can't fight Mercedes at the moment. Red Bull team principal Christian Horner has revealed that in 1991 he sneaked a day off school and drove to Silverstone, where he managed to find a hole in the fence and made it into the pit lane. Mercedes technical director James Allison has stated that the regulations forbid them to work on the aerodynamics of the 2022 car until the beginning of next year. He further added that it doesn't mean that they can't work on the 2022 project at all, and that they have been working on this for months and will continue to do so for the rest of this year. Former F1 race engineer Rob Smedley said that they are trying to make the lower levels of racing cheaper, faster, fairer, and bring more people into it. McLaren team principal Andreas Seidel has revealed that even though they have a Mercedes engine next year, they never plan to replace the gearbox and that they will continue to build their own gearbox. He also feels they have to acknowledge that this sport is quite complex, but at the same time it is important that Formula 1 and the FIA ensure that they all compete according to the same regulations. Racing Point team principal Otmar Safnauer always knew Lance Stroll had the speed and the talent, but if he does this under pressure, then he knows in his head that he can do it. And Roger Penske, owner of IndyCar, definitely thinks that sooner or later a new team will join from Formula 1, as something has changed in F1's business world and there are new interests. Who will place higher in the Constructors' Championship, Haas or Alfa Romeo? Head over to my community page to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.